and welcome to DawnNews English. With 20 minutes, I'm Nadia Naqi with you. Today, we have senior journalists who are going to analyze the situation that's happening in Lahore. We all know that Islamabad Police had gone to Punjab, especially Lahore at Zaman Park, to not only produce the arrest warrants to Imran Khan, but to arrest him and take him to Islamabad and produce him in the session court. However, what is happening in Lahore is, making headlines in all the newspapers, on the international media, where PTI, of course, is criticizing the caretaker setup as well as the federal government for launching an operation which is no less than what we see in Palestine and, in occupied Kashmir. This is what they say. At the same time, there is a lot of criticism that the federal government is also drawing, that they have been unable to manage all of this. And it's pretty chaotic situation, once again landing in the courts, with Lahore High Court now giving another order, which is going to be, enforced till tomorrow, that is the 17th of March, asking the police to stop the operation immediately. And at the same time, the court also hopes that the administration will sit down with the PTI leadership to talk it out. Let's see what our distinguished guests are going to say about all of this. Thank you so much for joining us, Murtaza Solanki and Amir Zia. You have seen all sorts of political situation. You've seen the MRD movement. You've seen opposition parties taking to streets. Why is it, I'll start with you, Solanki Saab, that Imran Khan is drawing so much of criticism to having all the supporters surrounding the Zaman Park and having die-hard fans? We've seen People's Party having the same sort of, and even PMLN, but the degree of, I'd say, the intensity of the supporters to form a shield and not let their leader being arrested. Why is it so wrong?
Well, it's wrong because a court of law has asked Mr. Khan to appear before the court so the charges could be framed against him.
Right.
This is the fourth time. The orders were issued on 6th of March, then 9th of March, then 13th of March, and now this is the fourth time he's supposed to appear on March the 18th. In the meanwhile, PTI and Mr. Khan appealed against this non-bailable warrant first at the same court, then at Islamabad High Court. And Islamabad High Court gave him the time till March the 13th. And asked Mr. Khan to appear there, but he didn't.
Right.
Even yesterday, his lawyer went to Islamabad High Court, and the court did not entertain his request to suspend the non-bailable warrant. Again today, they went to the same concerned court in Islamabad, and they did not entertain his request either. But Mr. Khan has been saying on international media that he has the protective bail against non-bailable warrant till 18th, which is a lie.
That is for other cases, not for this case.
Not for this case.
Yeah.
But he has been saying that. Now, as you have seen, Lahore High Court has taken the cognizance of this court, and they have given Mr. Khan another day till tomorrow.
Right.
And they have asked both the PTI leadership and the government to find an amicable solution. To me, Lahore High Court has gone out of its jurisdiction.
Okay.
The court of Islamabad falls directly under Islamabad High Court, and Islamabad High Court has categorically decided against Mr. Khan.
Okay.
So, I can say that the government and the courts have been exercising extraordinary restraint to avoid bloodshed, because we have a bloody history and incidents like Model Town. So everybody is trying other than Mr. Khan, which his own party leaders are raising concerns, like Yasmin Rashid, if you have heard that audio tape. Everybody is on the edge. They are trying
to avoid the bloodshed. You feel that the court is the administration, everybody is trying to restrain to their maximum, right? Amir, why do you feel that in such a scenario, do you not feel that the leader, and especially Imran Khan, who stands by the rule of law, should have just given guarantee earlier, or should have appeared before the court? Having said also the kind of you could say that there has been high-handedness from the police side, but what we see in the visuals, what the reporters have been saying, we see even the protesters attacking police, that is men in uniform. I haven't seen Imran Khan saying a word on that, or asking his people not to, put public property to fire, not to attack the police. How do you take this?
Number one, Nadia, as far as Imran Khan not appearing before the court, I think this is up to his legal team to share their thoughts, because it's a legal team which devises the strategy, how to tackle with the case. So I think I'm not a fit person to comment on that. It's a legal matter, and I have very little exposure to those matters. Coming to the political side and the dimension, first of all, I would say that the government has created a spectacle. And the kind of high-handed actions the government has resorted to, indiscriminate tear gas firing, and then baton charge, and even straight shooting at the protesters, what we saw at least in some of the videos. So this is unprecedented. Or maybe, and the kind of resistance PTI has done, this is also, I think, is unprecedented in our recent history. During the MRD days, yes, there was a mass movement, and there was an element of violence in it. But of protecting a leader like that for sustained so many hours after hour, so that has never happened before in our. I don't recall. Maybe Murza Shlangi can correct me on that or add to that. So in recent history, I don't think that has happened. So what I will say that PTI is a coming of age, because everybody used to call it a burger party. Now they've said, established the fact that. Just like Jamaat Islami or the Pakistan People's Party of the yesteryears, they've got the committed bunch of workers who are ready to stand up for their leader and for their cause. Some of may agree with that, and some of may disagree with their cause. That's besides the point. So this is kind of a political activism. The second thing is, when the state is resorting to high-handed actions, many things spin out of control. In Pakistan, I don't think so that many of our politicians and political workers are, want to follow Gandhi's philosophy that they will offer the other cheek. So the kind of mentality Pakistanis have, and there's a lot of militancy in our, in our society. So of course, police is resorting to high-handed actions. They'll be, people will be throwing back stones. They'll be trying to throw back those, tear gas shells on the police. And I saw that even some sort of a petrol bombs were used. At least in one video, I witnessed that. So things, you plan one thing for the protest and for the shield, but when it goes to the masses, they start reacting on their own. And
so are you trying to say that it just goes out of the leader then? What they want to probably how they want to handle it, then it's not in your hands.
Of course, it never it never is in your hand after one.
But then a mere condemnation. Would you feel, Amir, that a mere condemnation on this side from Imran Khan, at least you expected?
No, I don't think so. The kind of polarization we have in the society, is there any condemnation on the police action from the government side? So we don't see that. So there's no, politically correct statement coming from the government. And so I don't see such kind of a statement coming from Imran Khan as well. Because he is portraying his supporters as the heroes, and, it's no joke that you are braving for almost 24 hours tear gas shelling. So it is, we as student activists, both Mursa and myself, we have been part of many protests like that. So you need a lot of courage to do that. And to stand up to the police, the sheer brutality of the police like that. And Punjab Police is notorious for high-handed action. So I would say that the way PTI resisted, it is something very new in our, in our politics. Because now mostly people say that it is a game of palace intrigues. and it's not going to be decided on the street. So if the street power is shown, it is up. I mean, future will decide whether it is positive or is negative. But I say, as part of democratic values and the right to protest is concerned, I think they were justified. And look at it.
They were justified. Let's have a very quick word on this from Murtaza Solanki also, because he's been criticizing that, amongst others, that you have protesters, but you don't bring in children, you don't bring in women as shield, because that's a human shield, and that you see that only cult following actually resorts to such kind of, shield for yourself. Yes, Mr. Solanki.
Well, using women and children, elderly people as human shield to protect your leader is one thing. But there are other things that are very important that my friend Amir Zia has highlighted. Mm-hmm. One is police high-handedness. I haven't seen any high-handedness. The entire police and Rangers crew had no guns. They only had shields to protect them from stoning and petrol bombs. They had batons. What we saw and what reporters in the field saw during these 3-day coverage is that the workers of Mr. Khan, both inside Zaman Park and outside his home, were armed with stones, with batons, with petrol bombs, and they set on fire many vehicles. Petrol bombs were lobbed from the rooftop of Mr. Khan. That's reported by the reporters who have covered this. So there has been violence, but it has been mainly caused by Mr. Khan's supporters. Mr. Khan encouraged them. The leaked audio say it clearly that his people have been calling the MNAs and MPAs and organizers to bring in people. Otherwise, they will not be given election tickets. So this is entirely engineered by Mr. Khan, and he is acting like Sant Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale of Pakistan. He is trying to act like that, and his own people are shivering. They are crying, they are disagreeing with this entire strategy of Mr. Khan. Just listen to what Dr. Yasmin Rashid has told President Alvi and what he has told her. So it's very clear that it is, of course, a spectacle, but it has been created mainly by Mr. Khan and his team.
So, on one hand, Amir, you say is that, we all have seen the high-handedness, and that the Punjab Police is notorious for it. But how would you, actually comment on this? That
there are almost 100 people of Rangers and police injured. Okay. So get me the number of demonstrators who are injured. What's their figure?
This is also violation of law when you attack the police by the protesters. Okay, so they are trying to save their leader. But do you think, the court in all of this is completely not commenting on what, there has been a violation of law? Men in uniform have been beaten up. There has been, hurling of petrol bombs, as you even mentioned. So do you not think this all needs also to be, tried under the court of law? Because otherwise you're also setting an example, Amir, that later any other political party may also resort to such kind of protest, whether right or wrong, whether the arrest warrant was fair enough or not fair enough, whether the action of the police to arrest Imran Khan was fair or not. Let's not comment on that on the legal side, but at least we know that there have been, public properties that has been set to fire.
So one thing, as a journalist, I won't say that, is it justified or unjustified? As journalists, we can only, discuss the reasons why people acted the way they acted. And I would say that what was the need for such massive police deployment? We have seen that there were many court orders. The court has ordered that elections should be held, but the government is not complying with that. We know that there is a court order about the arrest of Interior Minister, but there is no keenness from the government to comply with that. So why in this case? This raises question. And the track record, the treatment I would say journalists have met it through at the hands of the Punjab Police and the authorities in recent weeks and months. Political workers, we all know, I mean, how they were, it's not just that they were arrested, they were beaten up, they were ridiculed, they were even stripped. So, I mean, then a person would resist. I mean, if this kind of unlawful things are happening in the name of enforcement of law, so people are going to react. So, I mean, look at Imran. I mean, many journalists are advising that he should have surrendered. So, acted like a conventional politician. I mean, in our
not only journalists, even Shah Mahmood Qureshi, we saw him saying that. Yeah, there is a split even within PTI on this, I guess. So, no surrender.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. So many people, not just journalists, and maybe many politicians, and even the people in the government, they're saying that Imran should have given arrest. But I mean, he's going against the tide. He is an unconventional politician. Whatever he has done, most of his political career, he has taken those U-turns, what many people say, or those turns, which many normal politicians won't take. So, I mean, that is his style of politics. Because of that. Had he surrendered, got arrested, taken from one city to another, and with a fear of government victimization, political victimization on his part, and we don't know how he would have been treated by the Punjab Police. So that was a genuine fear about his treatment. The second thing is that
Amir, I'm so sorry to interrupt. While Imran Khan was in power, we saw PMLN, which is in power right now. Most of their leaders were also behind the bars. So they didn't fear; they were put behind the bars. And in history, you could also talk about Asif Ali Zardari, Faryal Talpur, and then when you go back in history, you can.
But Nadia, tell me how many of PMLN people were stripped? How many were beaten up? They were treated.
But how sure are you that that he would have been treated with this treatment?
What has happened with Gill? What has happened with Azam Swati? I mean, there is a precedent. I mean, this in 11 short months.
What happened with Rana Sanaullah? What happened with Rana Sanaullah? What happened with Shahid Khaqan Abbasi?
So, Langi Saab, Amir is saying they were not stripped. They were not stripped.
No, it's not the matter of stripping only. How did people enter in Mariam's hotel room? What was that?
What I'm trying to say.
Do you remember that? She was a free person.
If they were,
okay, let Amir complete and then you can comment. Yes. Yes, Amir, go ahead.
If they were rights abuses, even at that time, they're condemnable. But what we have seen in these 11 short months, I mean, they are unprecedented by any standard. I mean, the kind of atrocities the government has resorted to. I mean, Murtaza is free to, disagree with me. But I mean, this is a general feeling among many Pakistanis. It's not that Amir is saying this. I mean, many Pakistanis who are apolitical, even they say this thing, that what has happened. So, and then what the point I'm trying to draw up, because I'm not saying that I'm justifying or I'm saying that it is unjustified. As a politician, Imran has used this whole episode to his advantage, to his leverage. The government committed a mistake. They mobilized a lot of police that would have acted in a more prudent manner, right? They did not do that. When the government came with full force, what Imran did, Imran workers resisted. So the entire national media, all the attention was on Imran Khan, on Zaman part, not just of national media but of international media. So he has used it to his advantage. The second point is that with every passing second and minute, the pressure was not on Imran Khan. Even, the state can, arrest him, shoot him, whatever they want to do. But then the onus of all the crisis was going on the government.
Yes.
And I think government realized that the pressure was building not on Imran Khan, but on the government. They were creating the spectacle. When people say hordes of policemen are marching, fully geared, Murtaza said that 100 or 200 policemen were wounded. Although they were wearing helmets, they were, wearing full protective gear. What about those workers which were exposed? So, and they were not even being allowed to.
Okay, so you mean that, it was ill-planned, wrong move by the administration?
It was a wrong move. It was an unnecessary provocation. I mean, imagine Pakistan is going through so much big crisis. There's a political crisis. There's an economic crisis. We have a diplomatic crisis. Rather than focusing on those things, resolving all those things, resolving the contradictions, trying to bring down the political temperatures, government is bent upon creating more trouble. So I think, it was an ill-advised, ill-planned, and I think untimely thing to do.
Okay.
Rather than focusing
so they
on
should have,
economy.
Amir, very quickly, because we have to close the show and I have to take last comments. You think that the court issuing a non-bailable warrant, and it was only, these warrants are only to produce the person in court for indictment, right? So they, the police should have not acted and should have waited till the date he was supposed to appear before the court.
Exactly. That they should have done, and would have been a better policy. And even if Imran has failed to produce him, even then you have a more stronger case.
Okay, so Murtaza Solanki sir, now you have to give your view, and we are going to wind up the show. As Mr. Amir Zia says, yes, I do agree that former Prime Minister Imran Khan has used this entire episode to his gain, to his political gain. He's become more popular. And he's got that soft corner even on the international media. I'd say that he is the person who's being targeted with high-handedness from the administration, and the pressure actually has been on the administration rather than on Imran Khan, it seems.
How popular he is, we will find out when elections are held. So till that time, we have to just hold our horses, who is popular and how much. But when it comes to the, high-handedness and unproportionate response of the government, the charges are false, because this is the second time police went there to serve a non-bailable warrant. I want you to remember when first time before 13th, when the police, Islamabad police officers went there, they were abused, they were thrashed, they were pushed when they only went there to show him the non-bailable warrant. And when
the chief of staff Shibli Faraz had written that he's not.
Remember what Shibli Faraz, his chief of staff, wrote on that piece of paper. He's not available. The statement, that's neither here nor there. So whatever police was there was to assist a lawful court order. The police was not sent by the government, caretaker government of Punjab or the federal government. They were sent there to assist a legal court process. So to blame it on the government is false and is not factual.
Okay. So lastly, with a yes or a no as an answer, I would like Amir, you and then Mr. Murtaza Solanki. Politically, when you see all the political leaders, let's not comment on whether it is right or wrong, but you feel that political move by Imran Khan for his own gain, for his party's gain, outnumbers all the political parties that exist today.
I think so, because I always say, and many people disagree with me on that politics is not moral or immoral. It is an amoral game. Whatever works, it works. This is the reality of politics. And if Mursa had been a political activist, even now, he would have agreed with me. But today, he might disagree. So, if we believe that politics is an amoral thing, so whatever you do to attain your goal or just, your objective, that stands justified and it works. And we have seen that, now
it's working for Imran Khan, you mean to say?
For his cause, for his party, you might say that just for his personality, but he would say that in the greater good of Pakistan, thinks that.
Okay, so let's have the last because I'm just left with 50 seconds. Mr. Solanki, you think that this is going to haunt Imran Khan? What he, the kind of behavior we've seen past 3 days, or do you think this is going to be actually good for him and good for his party?
It will not only haunt Mr. Khan, it will haunt Pakistan. It will haunt the engineers who planted Mr. Khan. And it will create a terrible precedent for the politics and the culture of politics of Pakistan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Murtaza Solanki and Mr. Amir Zia, senior journalist participating on 20 Minutes, analyzing the situation. Let's see what's going to happen, whether there's going to be an amicable way out between Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and the administration in Punjab, or more of this chaotic scenes are going to be visuals of the day for days to come. That's all. Goodbye.